Stinson in his second season as the head chef, as I like to say, at Texas A&M. The Aggies 18-13 in 2023. On the other side of the net, returning to Reed Arena is Steve Green in his ninth season as the Texas A&M head coach. He was on Lloyd Corbelli's staff back in the day here in Aggieland. All right, we mentioned Texas A&M starting the season off 2-0 on the year. Will they look to extend it to 3-0 here today against the Islanders? Maddie Walk, the transfer setter for the Aggies, getting the start at setter for Texas A&M, and right there, Corpus Christi comes out fighting.
Yeah, not sure if that one completely cleared the net, but regardless, the Islanders block was set up, ready to slow down Logan Lednicki, and that's a good start for the visiting team.
Kayla White, the libero, serves it overpass from the Aggies. And there's that block from Texas A&M that they are so good at, especially Casopala.
The Islanders missed an opportunity right there with that overpass. That was a ball that should have been right to target. It was a little tight, and they were just never able to get that offense going. Nice job by Texas A&M to finish that point.
Another new face to the Texas A&M roster, Ellie Stinson, serving it up for the Aggies. Casopala tries to get a dig after the touch on the block, sends it out of bounds, point Islanders. Corpus Christi 0-2, starting off the season with losses to Nebraska and Oklahoma. Pass from Stinson, set too far out by Walk, and I would say, Chelsea, there's a few nerves maybe coming into play here, being at home for the first time for some of these new faces in the roster.
Absolutely, and understandably so. It's a big crowd here at Reed Arena today. First time you're at home, playing in front of the 12th man. It's exciting, but a little nerve-wracking for some of the newbies.
2-1, Corpus Christi with the lead right now. There's Logan Lednicki. We'll say her name a lot today if the Aggies have their way. 2-2.
Mentioned it in the open, but even when Texas A&M is out of system, Logan Lednicki just always seems to be an option, and a really good one at that.
Ava Underwood, the libero for the Aggies, with a tough serve. Corpus Christi sends it over. You see Stinson on the back row with a dig. Out of the middle. That is Leah Stoffus, an all SLC Southland Conference player from a year ago for the Islanders.
Yeah, nice run right there. Corpus Christi, all about ball control. That's something that Coach Steve Green really prides himself on and wants to make sure that his teams are constantly getting that first contact to target. That's what allows your middles to run.
Off Lednicki's fingers, you saw an attack there from Morgan Perkins in at middle hitter now for the Aggies. Point Corpus Christi. They now lead by 3, 5-2.
Great start for the Islanders.
Stinson wisely lets that one go. Point Texas A&M, and Lednicki will now go to the back row, and something they've been working on, Chelsea, is seeing her attack from the back row, so that could be something to keep your eye on.
Well, we saw it in her freshman season, Casey. I mean, she was all over the court every single time that ball was in play. She was an option, but they almost overutilized her in that first season. Her sophomore season, we saw them back off that a little bit, running the 6-2. She was able to take a break, kind of regroup on the bench, but I like this option in the back row with Lednicki.
Nice pass. Perkins runs the slide for the Aggies. Corpus Christi sends it right back over. Here's Lednicki out of the back row. But wow, by the time she landed, it looks like a front row attack.
And all you have to do is take off from behind the 10-foot line. So as long as you take off from behind, you can land in front. That was a beautiful set by Maddie Walk because it placed the ball perfectly where Lednicki could go get it and really use that power. Like you said, Casey, basically looked like a front row attack.
Tatum Thomas, another transfer in for the Aggies with the serve now. 6-4, Corpus Christi still with a 2-point lead, 3-point lead now. As Caitlin Cranky gets the kill for the Islanders.
Seeing middles on both sides of the net run that slide play, going off of 1 foot, it really creates some angles that blockers aren't necessarily used to, especially early on in the match.
There's Walk pushing it back too far away from Perkins. And that's gonna be another point for Corpus Christi.
Yeah, Walk a little off right now. We saw that outside set earlier in the set, just pushed way too tight and far. That slide set right there, Perkins really had no chance. So Maddie Walk just needs to settle in a little bit and try to hit her spots.
Low pass, bump pass from Walk, Lednicki out of the back row. Right to Lednicki, she can't handle it. Point Corpus Christi and the Islanders. Up 9-4 now here early on in this first set.
Corpus Christi is doing a nice job of either running a slide or hitting that opposite. They're really utilizing the right side of their net and finding success.
Quick out of the middle for the Aggies, the number 21 in white, Morgan Perkins gets the kill, our first of the game.
Love that swing by Morgan Perkins. Quick, keep it simple, right in the middle. Great first contact by Texas A&M, allowed that offensive play to happen.
Still a 9-5 lead now for Corpus Christi. Off the block, Thomas is there. There's the first swing we've seen from another transfer, Emily Helmuth, the junior out of Highland Park High School in Dallas.
Yeah, transfer from Pepperdine. Coach Jamie Morrison saying she is making an immediate impact. You saw it right there.
Another missed serve from the Aggies, a couple of those here in this first set, and it's 9-6 now, Corpus Christi.
And ugly misses, Casey.
In the net, bottom of the net.
Not even close to the top of the net, yeah. So that's something that they're obviously gonna have to clean up. You don't wanna give away too many free points, especially when you're down.
Lednicki out of the back row. Here come the Islanders. Cross court and Walk, mistakenly, I would say, plays that ball.
Yeah, that's a ball that Lednicki actually was ready for and was going to make the dig. And if you're Maddie Walk, you obviously do not want to take the first ball as the setter. You want to make sure you're eligible to get that second contact.
Timeout now, Texas A&M. Jamie Morrison wants to talk about it with his team. We'll take a quick timeout. It's 11-6. A&M Corpus Christi with the lead over the Aggies.
Something has changed within me.
The Aggies trail the Islanders right now, 11-6 here in the opener Reed Arena for Texas A&M. And we mentioned it before the game, but Stephen Green is back now as the head coach of Corpus Christi in his 9th season with the Islanders. And right now, he's got to be pleased with what he's seen out of his team. That's going to be a point for the Aggies out of that timeout. Casopala gets the swing.
Yeah, Steve Green, the winningest coach in program history at Corpus Christi, at Texas A&M. He was here for 5 years and did an excellent job. He worked primarily with the setters, and he also served as the program's recruiting coordinator. If you remember the name Stephanie Ipley, that was kind of one of his big resume builders. Stephanie was SEC Player of the Year and somebody that he just worked wonders with. I mean, a huge talent, but Coach Green was definitely somebody who added to her success.
Casopala with the stuff there for the Aggies, and they've had 2 quick points now coming out of that timeout. Corpus Christi gets that one back with a push off the block.
Yeah, nice job by Texas A&M out of that timeout, looking good, making the adjustments, but the Islanders, they're able to get right back with that point. Doing a nice job of recognizing some holes in Texas A&M's defense.
That's gonna go long, no touch called, point Texas A&M.
I like the idea by Corpus Christi trying to go high off the hands of Texas A&M's big block right there. That's when you know you have a blocker like Athena Casopala in front of you, Emily Helmuth, you've got Logan Lednicki, you've got to be able to go off fingertips. So that was the idea, just have to execute and keep that ball either off the fingertips or in the court.
Around the block again. Nice job by Corpus Christi avoiding that big block from Texas A&M.
When I talked to Coach Green before the match, Casey, I asked, you know, kind of what is your MO? And he goes, ball control always and will always be what we really, really strive to have success with. And when you have ball control, you get that ball to target, that allows you to run your offense how you want to.
Tight pass, one-handed set from Walk. And then Afinocaso Paulo shows off her offensive side and gets the kill.
Great connection right there. And Maddie Walk, you've just got to believe that your middle is going to be there. Beautiful one-handed set. Casapala didn't have a good swing on it because it was such a broken play. She knew she just needed to be smart with it, and she was. Great execution right there. See if the Aggies can make a run right here.
Close that gap to 3 points. There's a dump. Walk was there. Underwood with a nice set to Lednicki. Another dump. Underwood barely misses on the pancake. I think if she hadn't tapped the floor, they might have given her that one.
Yeah, this one was close. This is a heads-up play by Corpus Christi. They try the setter dump, and it doesn't work, and then they go right back to it. Because very, very rarely are you gonna dump twice. But Hoagland, she showed that that's exactly what was needed to be tricky right there, I guess.
Quick set to Morgan Perkins for the kill for the Aggies. They get the point right back, and Logan Lednicki goes back to serve. Only 2 kills for her so far in this match. Taylor Humphrey, another transfer from Rutgers.
Yeah, just a miss hit right there. We saw the misconnection between her and Walk earlier. This time, good set. She just hit that ball a little flat.
Lednicki from the back row. Cross court. And she is a weapon wherever she is on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. From the back row, from the front row, no matter what pin, even as a lefty, we've seen her swing very aggressively from the outside. And if you're Maddie Walk, you gotta love that you have somebody who you can go to no matter what kind of pass you get. That was a good pass right there. That was just a set play.
Thomas back to serve again for the Aggies. Tight pass from Corpus Christi, they get it over. Helmuth with a big swing. Kendall Payne with the touch for Corpus, but the point goes to Texas A&M.
Yeah, ball was outside of the antenna. Nice try by Payne with the deep push. She is somebody that is going to have to get going if the Islanders want to keep this lead, hold on to this lead. Kendall Payne is definitely one of their go-tos, and she's just got 1 kill so far in the day.
Tatum Thomas, one of 3 players with libero experience on this Texas A&M team, and it's really a plethora of defensive specialists for the Aggies. And that's going to be a point for Corpus Christi as the ball hit the video board on their side after it crossed the net.
Tough set right there. Ava Underwood has really good hands. She actually set in high school, and she's got great ball control, obviously as a libero. So you'll see her take that second contact. Sometimes she's almost too perfect and puts that ball too close to the net, and Helmuth just couldn't really handle it.
Walk has to run that one down. Thomas is there for the dig after the block. It's too hard to hit there from Helmuth.
Aggressive swing, and I like the aggression. We talked to Coach Morrison, and he said, we want to see big rips. I want players going up there and taking big swings, and that was a really aggressive swing by Helmuth. Just got to get that ball more to a corner. That way, when it's deep, it stays in.
You hear Morrison talk a lot about heavy arms. Helmuth has a heavy arm. That's off the block. Underwood with a great dig. A block from Corpus Christi. Underwood's there again. That's going to be put down by the Islanders.
Corpus Christi is winning the game at the net right now, Casey. They haven't necessarily had a lot of stuffed blocks, only one, but they are doing a great job at the net of slowing down this Texas A&M offense. And on those tight balls, we're seeing a lot of stuff on the net, a lot of junk on the net. Corpus Christi is winning those points.
A&M has a problem with ball control right now, from what I'm seeing in passing.
It almost looks like they're trying to be too perfect. They're trying to get that ball to target, and it's winding up on top of the net. You've got to give yourself some space off the net. You've got, and that's even for Maddie Walk. She's got to get some of those sets a little bit further off, let her hitters work around the block, give them some space. Right now, if you're hitting warm-up, you're hitting in hitting lines, yeah, you love to crush that ball right on top of the net. But when you have a block in front of you, you just don't have the room.
A&M Corpus Christi did not make the NCAA tournament last season. Many argued that they should have been an at-large team. They had a 22-10 record, 16-2 in the conference. That was their first 21 season since 2016, and they lost, though, in the SLC championship game, so Southeastern earned that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
And when you're in a conference like the Southland Conference, you know if you want that guarantee for Steve Green and the Islanders, but it's just there's too many other great teams in the country who are going to get those bids if you don't come out on top.
Right now, it's Corpus Christi on top of Texas A&M by 5. The Aggies called their second timeout just now. Jamie Morrison is known for calling timeouts to just kind of regroup and reset. I wonder what they talked about in that huddle. What do you think he told them?
Yeah, I mean, I think going back to getting the ball to target, get it off the net, give yourself some space a little bit more, and start reading that defense a little bit better. They're hitting right into blocks, and they're tipping right at players.
There's a quick set. That's been successful for the Aggies today. Perkins, her teammates thought, I think, she was going to send that over.
And it's things like that, too, and I'll pick on Morgan Perkins right there. Like, you either have to slam that ball down or you have to get off the net and pass that ball nice and high and let Maddie Walk kind of reset the offense. There just wasn't a lot, there just wasn't a great decision right there. And that's what I think we're seeing is bad decisions on those close, short balls from Texas A&M's side.
Underwood comes over and takes that. Then they go quick again to Perkins. The connection between Walk and Perkins has been very good here today.
And that was a beautiful pass by Ava Underwood. I've actually been very impressed. I know we talked about ball control. I've actually been very impressed with the passing from Texas A&M. Tatum Thomas, Ava Underwood, Ellie Stinson have been really, really good in the back row right there. It's just about executing on the front row.
Slowed down by the block. Here's Helmuth off the block, down the line for the kill for the Aggies.
You mentioned the slowdown from the block. It led to a nice dig by Humphrey and a nice, good set from Maddie Walk to Emily Helmuth on the outside. That's what Texas A&M needs to start building on.
Gonna have a net call on Texas A&M. It looks like Casopala misjumped there and just landed right in the net. Corpus Christi, the first to 20 here in this first set, on the road at Texas A&M in front of a pretty good home opening crowd here for the Aggies. There is a big heavy swing from Casopala.
Great dig.
Another big heavy swing, Logan Lednicki. There's a hole in the floor, she's gonna find it.
Great dig early in that rally by Alex Hoagland, the setter for Corpus Christi, but it goes right back over. Texas A&M takes advantage of the free ball. Another beautiful back set from Maddie Walk, back row back set, and a nice kill termination by Lednicki.
Gonna have a back row attack there from Corpus Christi. Hoagland, you can't jump up. If you're in the back row, which she is right now, you can't contact the ball above the plane of the net, is the rule. And now Corpus Christi calls their timeout as they've seen their lead go away, basically. Now it's down to 3 against this Texas A&M team. The Aggies a year ago did make the NCAA tournament. They ran into a buzzsaw of the Texas Longhorns in the first round, and the Longhorns, of course, went on to win the national championship. 16-13 15, 8, and 10 in the SEC. They had a huge win at number 4 Florida at the time, their highest ranked win since 1999. 7th in D1 in blocks per set, led the SEC in blocks last season. And that was their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2019.
Yeah, great first season for Jamie Morrison. We were talking to him before.
Sometimes you'll see them in chef hats and aprons. I don't see any. There may be some in the crowd here tonight, but there's banana in the crowd. I did see that.
Hey, they had no class today. I'm glad to see that the students came out on their day off to support some Aggie volleyball.
There's a look at the student section here at Texas A&M. All the
handing out
Hawaiian shirts and lace
yeah.
today as a welcome to the season. All right, after that timeout, Maddie Walk will serve it up for the Aggies. Underwood will butt past this. Helmuth off the block. There's another block from Texas A&M, but Corpus Christi sends it over. Here's Lednicki. No block on that one for Lednicki, and she puts it down for the Aggies. Down to a 2-point lead now for the Islanders.
Yeah, when you only get one person in front of Logan Lednicki, you've got to take away that cross court, and it was just too far out was the block, and Lednicki taking advantage of that huge hole in the block.
There's another block from the Aggies. This is going to go over. Had a collision between Walk and Lednicki. They get up, and then no assistance needed from the block from Texas A&M and Emily Helmuth all by herself at the net.
And this is how you take away the angle when you're the only blocker. Great job by Helmuth. She swings to go outside. She realizes that Casapala is not going to close, and she presses those hands back into the middle of the court. Gorgeous solo block.
There's a back row attack from Corpus. That goes long, no touch called. Point Texas A&M, and we are tied at 20 here in this first set.
2015 was your score. Texas A&M has been able to come back and tie this thing, and now, Casey, it's 1-5.
5-0 scoring run now for the Aggies. Slowed down by the block. There's Underwood with a pass. Back to Helmuth. Dug up by the Islanders. Block, Texas A&M, Casapala, all over that one.
And Casey, this 6-0 scoring run has completely been based off of the block by Texas A&M. They have finally found their groove. Casapala does a beautiful job of closing that block, pushing those hands back in. And even when they're not getting stuff blocks, Casey, Texas A&M is slowing the ball down at the net, and they're giving their defenders nice high deflections in order to get that offense running again on the easy dig.
Quick step for Corpus. They tip it over. Here's Lednicki. She hits the antenna, though. She's saying it hit the net. We may see our first challenge in use of the Hawkeye system here. We'll see if Jamie Morrison elects to do that. No,
yeah, he's going to choose not to use the challenge right here. And, yeah, this was a tough ball. And, yeah, that ball's off Lednicki. Yeah. Hit the antenna off of her swing, I should say.
Yeah. Casapala comes back with a huge swing. 4 kills now for her in this match.
And she's really bringing the energy right now too, Casey. She loves to block, but something that she's been focused on in this off season, in the spring, over the summer, getting to play for the U.S. Collegiate National Team. It's all about that offense. How can she get that arm swing going even more?
Tip. Underwood is there, and the Aggies tip it back up. But then Corpus Christi with a heads-up play at the nets to deny that rally from the Aggies.
Yeah, nice scrappy play right there. Good pancake by Ava Underwood. But I love how Corpus Christi stays calm on their side. You know, right there, it's tough. You kind of get anxious and it's chaotic and everybody's, you know, flying and diving. But Corpus Christi just stayed. They kept their own at the net and made sure to get that final block.
Serve goes long from Corpus Christi, and it will be a point for Texas A&M now, 2 points away from taking this first set.
And if you're the Aggies, you have to take advantage of that mistake by Corpus Christi. That's an aggressive misserve there by Brooklyn Yeager. Not a bad miss, but if you're the Aggies, you got to take advantage.
Short serve played well by Corpus Christi to tie it back up at 23.
And Tori Arrington will leave the game now, but has done a pretty nice job there on the outside for the Islanders. Just her first kill of the day. But if they can get her going to kind of match the energy that they get and the production that they get from Kendall Payne, they can be dangerous outside hitters.
Speaking of dangerous, Logan Lednicki. I love how when she gets a high set like that, you can see her. She looks at the ball, looks where she's going to hit it, and then gets the ball back in her sights.
Yeah, she does a great job of seeing the other side of the court. And like you said, when it's a big high bump pass, she has the time to take, and she has the time to see the court, slow down her approach, and then still have a big rip.
Set point now for the Aggies. You got to win by 2.
We did have some subs. Lednicki left the game, and Margot Manning will now come in to serve for her. I like this sub on the back row.
Gives the Aggies 2 setters on the court. Or 1 setter, I should say. His walk is off the court at the moment, but they will come back in now.
Yeah, Ital Lapio and Margot Manning both came in just for that 1 rotation. I like that. Margot Manning is a great server, but the Islanders were able to fend off that set point, and now we're tied at 24.
You will see the Aggies run a 6-2 at some point. Coach Morrison did mention it to us this morning that it's something he will go to, and there's Perkins to take the Aggies to another set point here in set number 1.
This is a beautiful pass by Humphrey. It sets up the gorgeous set hit combination right there between Walk and Perkins, but just quick shout out to Humphrey for a really nice pass on a really tough serve. I've been impressed with A&M's passing so far this set.
Timeout A&M Corpus Christi, so both teams used both of their timeouts in this first set. The Islanders trying to keep the Aggies from coming back to win this first set.
Well, it's a big first set right here. You've got, Texas A&M, their home opener, first time playing at home in front of the 12th man. Corpus Christi, they're 0-2 on the year. They've had really tough matches against a top 2 Nebraska team and an SEC team with Oklahoma. So they know what it takes to compete at that level, right? And they know they can really set the tone for the rest of their day with a win. Texas A&M obviously trying to set the tone on their side in front of their home crowd.
A&M Corpus Christi plays in the Southland Conference during the regular season, and the Islanders picked to finish pretty well, 4th in the conference behind Southeastern, who won the conference a year ago. Stephen F. Austin, the overwhelming winner of the preseason poll for the Southland Conference.
Yeah, SFA and UTRGV, new additions to the Southland Conference this year, and both picked to finish in the top 2. So it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out as their season progresses.
The Aggies looking forward to this home match to start their home season off. They were on the road, as we mentioned, in South Alabama over the weekend, a couple of games to start the season. Now they're back home at Reed Arena, and they're hoping to get some things going here. Last year, if you remember, they started the season 7-0, Chelsea, which was tied for the best start all time for them.
Yeah,
they're hoping
start.
to repeat that again here this year. Set point now for the Aggies. Cross court dug up by Texas A&M. Walk goes to Lednicki. She tips it. Cross court in for the kill, and the Aggies take set 1, 26-24.
I think the Islanders are going to be a little upset that they let that set go, Casey, but they were right in there the whole time. But Texas A&M, great comeback, and Emily Hillman finishing things off.
Doug.
And if we win, we get to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Isn't that what you just did?
Which was the right call because it was pretty obvious in the replay that it hit the antenna. We'll talk more about the changes in the challenge world here in the SEC as we go through this season. And if we get one tonight, we'll talk about it, but they've got a new system here for that. And Coach Morrison was more than excited about it. Serve from Ellie Stinson as the Aggies take the first point of the second set. Hard ball. Miscommunication from the Aggies. Nobody knew who was going to get the ball. It ended up hurting them in the end.
And those are things that you are going to see at the beginning of seasons. Now, that is something that needs to get cleaned up very quickly. Jamie Morrison probably would say even at any point in the season, you shouldn't see that. But the communication breakdown is normal, I think, no matter how many returners you have. Every team is a new team every season.
Casopala dug up first by libero Kayla White, then goes across her body on the winner of the preseason poll for the Southland Conference.
Yeah, SFA and UTRGV, new additions to the Southland Conference this year, and both picked to finish in the top two. So it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out as their season progresses.
The Aggies looking forward to this home match to start their home season off. They were on the road, as we mentioned, in South Alabama over the weekend, a couple of games to start the season. Now they're back home at Reed Arena, and they're hoping to get some things going here. Last year, if you remember, they started the season 7-0, Chelsea, which was tied for the best start all time for them.
Yeah,
they're
great
hoping
start.
to repeat that again here this year. Set point now for the Aggies. Cross court dug up by Texas A&M. Walk goes to Lednicki. She tips it. Cross court in for the kill, and the Aggies take set one, 26-24.
I think the Islanders are going to be a little upset that they let that set go, Casey, but they were right in there the whole time. But Texas A&M, great comeback, and Emily Hellman finishing things off.
We're not weird. We just do things differently. We don't have a secret language. Good bull isn't hard to understand.
The Aggies come from behind. Dramatic fashion to take the first set, 26-24. When you look at what's coming back for the Aggies, and they returned 9 players from the team that went to the NCAA tournament a year ago. 54% of their kills came back, and I would assume most of that is Logan Lednicki.
Yeah, definitely. They lost an arm when Biana Moneke decided to transfer, ended up at Georgia. So we'll see her in SEC volleyball this season. But Logan Lednicki was a big part of that 54%. As you mentioned, she holds the program record for the most kills in a 3-set match at 22, and I feel like I've seen that number multiple times throughout her career. She is just so impressive, especially as an opposite hitter. You know, you typically think an outside hitter is going to get the majority of sets, and that's just where a lot of those junk balls go, so they get more swings. She gets just as many swings on the right side, Casey, and it's a lot of fun to watch her play, and so far so good for Logan Lednicki. She's off to a hot start today with 6 kills.
Mentioned the dramatic fashion of the first set. The Aggies were down at one point 20-15, had a 6-0 run to take the lead. And then Corpus Christi hung around. They wouldn't go away quietly. Called a timeout at 25-24 set point, and then the Aggies came out with a huge swing from Emily Hellmuth to get the kill for the win on set number 1.
Yeah, it was a fun first set. I'm excited to see what we have in store for the rest of this match.
We haven't had a challenge yet in this match, which I thought we might have one, but he opted not to, which was the right call because it was pretty obvious in the replay that it hit the antenna. We'll talk more about the changes in the challenge world here in the SEC as we go through this season. And if we get one tonight, we'll talk about it, but they've got a new system here for that. And Coach Morrison was more than excited about it. Serve from Ellie Stinson as the Aggies take the first point of the second set. Hard ball. Miscommunication from the Aggies. Nobody knew who was going to get the ball. and ended up hurting them in the end.
And those are things that you are going to see at the beginning of seasons. Now, that is something that needs to get cleaned up very quickly. Jamie Morrison probably would say even at any point in the season, you shouldn't see that. But the communication breakdown is normal, I think, no matter how many returners you have. Every team is a new team every season.
Casopala dug up first by libero Kayla White, then goes across her body on the second shot and gets the kill.
Yeah, she's off to a really good start today, Casey. Love that turn, avoids the solo block right in front. Great angle, 5th kill of the day.
Great pass on that serve. Sets up Berger for a big kill, the freshman for the Islanders.
Yeah, nice swing there by Hadley Berger. As you mentioned, freshman coming in, getting a big swing.
Lednicki blocked. And that's got to feel good if you're A&M Corpus Christi and Riley Oxwind to get that block of Logan Lednicki.
Yeah, if you can slow down Logan Lednicki, you're happy. When you can stop Logan Lednicki by yourself, that's a huge block by Oxen. Really, really nice play.
A&M hitting 224 in the first set. Wants to see that go up, and that's going to go off the tip for the point for the Islanders.
Yeah, we have not said Kendall Payne's name enough today because she has been a little quiet, but this is your go-to player if you are Corpus Christi, and right there, she's in the back row, and they are going to try to find her no matter where she is.
Look to see that hitting percentage go up for Corpus Christi. It was below 200 in that first set, and you mentioned Kendall Payne's name. If she can get going, that number will go up. A&M runs this down. It's going to be a free ball for Corpus. Nope, not going to get over. Another point for the Islanders, and A&M continues to be out of system and kind of scattering around to get the balls.
Yeah, it's either a really clean play for the Aggies or really kind of broken and chaotic. And they need to find more consistency with those clean plays. And then even when they do get a little out of system, just trying to stay a little bit calmer. That was a beautiful play right there. Good first pass, nice set to Perkins, who's able to execute. So we see that and it looks great. But when it doesn't look like that, it's looking pretty bad.
Morgan Perkins with her 4th kill of the match for the Aggies. Big returner, part of the team for the Aggies. There's Humphrey, sends it over. Perkins again, another point for Texas A&M.
And that was a beautiful read by the libero. Ava Underwood was on that all day and made a perfect pass. And that's the thing I think we're seeing is even when they're reading the ball correctly, they're trying to push that ball too close to the net. That was a great high pass. It allowed Maddie Walk a little bit of time to get that ball to Perkins. Another good read there by Underwood.
She's all over the court right now in this second set. She was in the first as well. That's going to go out. She reads that one. Going to have a touch called. The up judge overrules the line judge, though, on that one. No touch called.
Yeah, I did not see a touch either. I was a little surprised that he called that,
yeah.
But no one seems to be questioning it.
No. The ball was far away from anybody. I think he thought he saw something at the net, maybe. Lednicki with a tough serve out of the back row. Nice, great hustle from Texas A&M. Ellie Stinson runs that down for the Aggies. Quick to Morgan Perkins. And the Aggies take the lead 6-5 here over Corpus Christi in the second set.
You mentioned it, Casey. Stinson and Thomas both have libero experience at their previous schools. That is a gorgeous up by Ellie Stinson, just showing that she can also stretch out and get that ball, and then taking advantage of that little tip, little dump over, and getting another swing by Perkins. Man, she's on fire right now at the net.
Corpus Christi playing some short ball at the net. Nice send over there from Walk. Tight ball again for Walk. Humphrey dug up in the back row. Lednicki out of the back row, sends it too deep. Long rally there, point goes to Corpus Christi.
Number 17, Kendall Mahini returns to Corpus Christi.
Lednicki, 6 kills, 4 errors as well, and 19 attacks so far here in this game. She's got the most attacks out of anybody on the court. But those 4 errors are evident right now. Humphrey again down the line this time to get the kill and the point back for the Aggies when they needed it most.
Well, I give the Islanders credit. They are scrappy. They are preventing the kill when possible, but Humphrey able to execute this one down the line. That's a gorgeous swing, and that line has been open. We just haven't seen an outside hitter who's been able to get it down there until now.
Humphrey will take a seat as Tatum Thomas comes in to serve and play defense for the Aggies, and she'll get the first ace of the game for Texas A&M.
Mentioned Thomas, the transfer from Grand Canyon, had libero experience there, does a really nice job in the back row and showing off her serving skills as well.
I can imagine that practices with 3 experienced liberos are something to see for Texas A&M and the competition that must come out of that and how they push each other as good as they are.
Absolutely. Kayla White showing off her libero skills.
It's gonna go long. Corpus Christi sees a touch and they call it. Nope, the up ref says no touch. So Steve Green says, hey, wait a minute. He's gonna challenge that. So this is our first look now. We're gonna see the Hawkeye system in motion. And what this is, basically, it replaced TV Sport. There are multiple cameras set across the court, around the court. You'll see the little pylons, black pylons, kind of scattered around the court. And what these are high-resolution cameras. They use the broadcast cameras as well. But they got these high-resolution cameras from Hawkeye that can pinpoint and get a better view, basically, of the ball. Jamie Morrison talked about it, Chelsea, and is very excited about this because it takes the SEC up a level when it comes to replays.
And he says the most important thing is getting it right. And that's what these extra cameras, these high-resolution cameras, are going to allow the referees to do. So we'll get a look here at the broadcast angle, and they're saying, the Islanders are saying that there was a touch. We'll take another look here. I thought there was a touch off Perkins.
Yeah.
So
it looks like it might have caught Perkins right there on her right hand.
Yeah,
but it's
that
hard to
inside
tell.
hand.
It's hard to tell.
Here's another look at the net.
SEC uses another official at the table in conference games, and they are going to say no touch on that one, or there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call. In non-conference games, there is no official, so the down ref is the one who makes that decision.
I was giggling a little bit at Steve Green earlier because he knows the yells that they do here at Texas A&M, and they have one about the visiting coach calling him a bus driver. And so he looked like he was driving a bus. He was egging on the 12th man, trying to get that yell.
He's got a little experience listening to that.
Oh yeah, he knows the traditions. Well, some people would say ball never lies, and right there, Texas A&M coming away with the point. So a nice job coming out of that challenge that they ended up not losing, and then getting the kill from Helmuth.
4-0 scoring run now for the Aggies if they go up by 4 points. Pretty set, just a little under the ball. It's going to be a point for Texas A&M.
Yeah, Kendall Payne really thought she had a touch on that one as well, but you don't necessarily want to call 2 challenges that close.
You only get 2.
Especially the exact same type of play that you were not able to get overturned the first time.
That's going to go long. A little too much on that one, trying to serve it deep. Tatum Thomas misses that one. She went on a pretty good run there for the Aggies behind the line, though.
Yeah, and if you're the Islanders, you got to be careful. You cannot let this gap get too big. It's just going to be too tough to come back. Texas A&M did it in the first set, but The Islanders need to rattle off a few points here if they want to keep it close.
There's that heavy arm. Emily Helmuth coming back to get a kill, her 6th of the match.
Yeah, she's really starting to find her groove, Casey. At the beginning, she was a little off. I think Maddie Walk's sets were a little bit off too. They're finally finding that connection. Nice set right there. Allows Helmuth, check out this angle. Cross court, not even close to the block. Beautiful angle.
Misplay there by Hoagland. She thought she was going to be able to dump it over, but missed it, hit the top of the net.
Yeah, she's been pretty offensive this game, which I typically like in a setter, but that one just did not clear the net.
That's going to sneak over her and an ace for Morgan Perkins.
It's always interesting to see who Coach Morrison allows to serve from that middle position. We saw Casapala serve last year. She's got a tough serve. Perkins also proving that she's got a pretty tough serve right there too. You also have to play defense for one rotation.
And if you're the offense, where do you want to hit the ball?
At the middle.
At that middle. A&M misses that one, and that will end the serving from Perkins as Helmuth hits that one in the net. Perkins will go off for Ava Underwood now. Morgan Perkins leading all with 7 kills, no errors here in this match for her. And she's taking a break as Corpus Christi returns the favor. Misses their serve, and that's our first to 15 as the Aggies come out playing a lot tougher in the second set than they did the first. They're up 15-8. We'll come back to Reed Arena right after this.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you, the authentic Jersey way. You can't fake that. And look, you can fake a lot of stuff these days. You can fake my outfit, but you can't fake freshly sliced turkey. You can fake these haunches, but you can't fake freshly sizzled bacon. Nay, you just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. It's nice to be back in my real body. Number 13, please. Made the authentic Jersey way since 19...
Back at Reed Arena as the Aggies jump out now quickly to a 7-point lead. There's Morgan Perkins, 7 kills, hitting .538 in this match for the Aggies. Not one of the ones we thought would stand out in this match, but not surprising that she is at all given what she did last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Very efficient hitter. And, you know, your middles can typically have a little bit of a higher hitting percentage because when they're getting set, they're getting perfect balls most of the time. You got to give credit to Texas A&M's passing, serve, receive, because those passes are what is allowing Morgan Perkins and other people in the front row to hit as effectively as they are.
That was Emily Helmuth, I think, who got the hands on that one, with Casapala closing the block.
Yeah, not only is she adding to Texas A&M's offense, she is a good blocker there on the outside, and that's going to be a really nice addition to that brick wall that the Aggie blocking team is.
Almost had another one. That ball came down on the wrong side of the net for the Aggies.
Yeah, that one got through, but most of the time, Texas A&M is doing a pretty good job of sealing off the net.
Kendall Payne goes to the back row now. Oh, it's not something you see a ton of.
No, typically in middle school, they teach you to keep an eye on the server because you don't want to get hit in the back of the head, but that was a really, really bad miss, and luckily Caitlin Cranky looks to be okay. But yeah, that's not fun when you're waiting to block in the middle and all of a sudden you take one right into the back of the head.
Stenson back to serve now for the Aggies. She sends it over. Rejection from Texas A&M, Logan Lednicki. Another one from Lednicki. That one hits the antenna. As Hadley Berger had that one, and the Aggies anticipated that set going back there.
Well, and I was watching Berger. She approached really quickly. So nice block right there, and then she just kind of over approaches. You see how far back her body was kind of bent, and it was just not a good connection right there. Bad pass right there, and Texas A&M, Casey, in complete control of set number 2.
Yeah, 9-point lead is the most they've led. I'm surprised A&M Corpus Christi hasn't called a timeout since this second set has kind of gotten out of hand. They're just kind of letting it play out. Nice pass from Corpus, dug up by the Aggies. Underwood with a save on the second ball and a nice touch on the final ball from Taylor Humphrey.
Yeah, Texas A&M just looks more comfortable. And then you talked about maybe first set jitters, first time playing in front of the 12th man. For a lot of these players, first time playing ever in Reed Arena in a game atmosphere like this. And this second set has just looked totally different from set number 1.
That goes off the block, down the line. Nice job from Riley Oxwin for Corpus Christi. Her 4th kill. That one goes wide. Trying to serve that tight ball down the line, misses that one.
Yeah, really nice job by Ellie Stinson. She followed that ball all the way to the line, got her foot on the line, made sure that it was out before letting it go.
Oxwin again. Underwood off the roll shot on the net, saves it.
Yeah, it was
Corpus
actually
Christi, all out of sorts.
Yeah, it was actually off of Humphrey. She got just a piece of it and then directed it to Ava Underwood. So nice little team effort right there to keep that ball in play. Sometimes you just gotta stick a hand out and hopefully it goes where you want it to.
And that somebody else is there to get it.
Exactly.
Quick to Morgan Perkins, another kill for Morgan Perkins. Her 9th now of the match.
And another really nice dig by Ava Underwood. She sees that roll shot, beautiful up, right to walk, who's able to connect with Perkins for another one. That ball's in front of the 10-foot line. Gorgeous swing by Perkins.
An ace for Texas A&M, Ava Underwood, and it's set point now for the Aggies. That goes through the block of Perkins. Point Islanders.
Leah Stolfus, another name I thought we would be saying more and more, and she's done a good job. She leads the Islanders with 6 kills, but I just feel like she hasn't been enough of an impact to really make a difference in this particular set. But that was, she passed that ball and then got up and still made the attack. Really nice athletic play by your middle blocker.
Tight ball from Underwood. No problem, though, for Maddie Walk and Logan Lednicki as they close out set number 2 for the Aggies with a kill for Lednicki, her 7th kill of the match.
Yeah, just a nice job by Texas A&M to really take control of that set, Casey.
We'll be back with set number 3 here. Can the Aggies keep it going and get the sweep? We'll find out right after this.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. You can't fake that. You can fake my outfit. You can fake these haunches. You just can't fake a freshly sliced jersey.
For Texas A&M, 9 kills on the day, 0 error. She is hitting 600 right now. Big numbers by the middle blocker. She's been a lot of fun to watch. She's also done a great job from behind the service line, getting the nod as the middle to serve in this game today. And you got to give credit, though, where credit is due, and that is to the serve, receive, and defenders for Texas A&M. They are getting those balls to target, which is allowing Maddie Walk to run Morgan Perkins as effectively as she has.
29 kills for the Aggies here through 2 sets, hitting 260 after those 2 sets, 34 digs, 5 blocks. On top of that, 3 of those blocks Ifena Kasopala is responsible for.
And we'll see if Kendall Payne can get things going in this set for the Islanders. She's got 5 kills on the day, but 5 errors. So she's hitting 0, and she is their go-to. She is the Southland Conference Player of the Year the last 2 seasons. I mean, she is their point producer, and we just haven't seen a ton from her in this game. Texas A&M has done a nice job to kind of slow her down.
Maddie Walk serves it up for the Aggies, rejected there by Kasopala. Another block, that one comes down on the A&M side. Lednicki unable to run it down.
And a nice job by Berger, just sticking with it. Got blocked on that first attempt and then got the second one off the hands of Casapala to land for the kill.
Casapala, 6 kills for her.
And I love this. Texas A&M is recognizing that they are having success in the middle offensively. And so if you get the pass, Maddie Walk, go ahead and get it to that middle. That ball a little bit higher. I like that. It allows Casapala to turn and create more angles than if she was going in quickly.
Missed serve there from Ellie Stinson. Gives the point right back to A&M Corpus Christi.
Stinson, the transfer from Northwestern. Coach Morrison said her and Underwood both know that they can potentially be wearing that other colored jersey, and the competition between the liberos on this team, you mentioned it earlier, Casey, it's got to be great during practice and great to keep pushing each other.
That was a great pass right there that set up that Logan-led Nikki kill, her 8th. Ellie Stinson mentioned one of 5 transfers in, one of the 3 experienced liberos on this team. At any point, that jersey could change. Ava Underwood's got that right now, but Ellie Stinson is very capable, as is Tatum Thomas for the Aggies. Stinson coming in with the experience that Jamie Morrison needed in that back row for the Aggies, and she's a senior as well, and coming in from the Big Ten.
Yeah, last season averaging 4.41 digs per set. That was good enough for second in the Big Ten. She has been a lot of fun to watch so far in the back row.
Lednicki, high ball. She waits on it just right, though, and sends it into that deep corner for the kill.
Nice set by Underwood. I mentioned she set in high school. She's got beautiful hands, and she does a really nice job of getting that ball all the way out to the pin for Lednicki to rip. One more note on Ellie Stinson. I talked to Coach Morrison earlier today just about the leaders on this team, and he mentioned 4 that were kind of part of their leadership group, and Ellie Stinson being one of those, Ava Underwood, Molly Brown, and Emily Helmuth. And when you talk about Emily and Ellie specifically, they're 2 new players to this program. So to come in as a fresh new face and to immediately step into a leadership role, I feel like that just says a lot about the players and the people that they are.
Well, he prides himself, and this program prides itself on the character that they recruit. And that does tell you a lot, and there's a look at the transfers for Texas A&M this season. Tatum Thomas, Helmuth, Stinson among them. And they do bring a lot to the court on and off the court as well. There's a tip from Humphrey to get the kill for the Aggies. Nice placement on that ball from Taylor Humphrey.
Yeah, great dig by Stinson, and then Underwood steps in, is able to bump set it back behind her, and it was a tight set. Humphrey did a beautiful job of just throwing that ball cross court right along the net. Nice play.
Lednicki with a serve. Payne sends it over. Humphrey will opt to send this one up instead of hitting it over. Lednicki out of the back row. Nice dig. Just out of reach, though, of Corpus Christi's second ball, and that's going to be a kill for Logan Lednicki.
I know it may seem like a small thing, but I loved that decision by Taylor Humphrey. She stepped off the net and just set that ball up. Instead of trying to crush it or just tip it back over the net, she could tell she wasn't in a great position to do that, and she ended up setting up a Lednicki kill.
And that's so hard as a hitter to not just want to crush that ball.
Yeah, and a lot of times,
so tempting.
And if it's perfect, it's great. Crush it, go for it, absolutely. But that ball was far enough off the net that she knew, let me just step back, set this ball up to my team, and allow them to move forward with that.
Little decisions like that add up to big plays, and that's what happened there for the Aggies. Walk out to Humphrey again. She's blocked. Underwood is there. There's Underwood on this side of the court now. That's going to go over, and then Morgan Perkins is in the net. Oh, no, Corpus Christi was in the net. I thought Morgan Perkins got it. And it was Pelagi for Corpus Christi who got the net.
I think Morgan might have thought she was in the net because the net came at her and touched her, but yeah, that was the Islanders on the other side, just too aggressive.
Nice running all over the court by Ava Underwood on that point. Almost pancaked up, and she's going to argue that she got it, is Kayla White. Missed that one, though, did Corpus Christi on the second ball. I think she barely missed it. Five-point lead now for the Aggies. Morgan Perkins, 11 kills now for the middle hitter.
I think Corpus Christi knows they're going to Perkins, and they still can't slow her down. That time, Kendall Payne was really the only one even close to the block, as Cranky had kind of gotten too far away. Another misserve. I will say that's the one thing that I've noticed. Both teams, Texas A&M with 7 misserves, Corpus Christi with 6, and that one wasn't that bad of a miss. Some of these misses, Casey, have been like in the bottom half of the net.
And they've killed some runs.
It's just ugly.
They've killed some runs for both teams. They're missing at inopportune times. It's be an overpass that Walk goes up with.
Well, if you're Corpus Christi, you have to recognize that Maddie Walk is in the front row. And when there's a ball that is passed that tight to the net, she has no other option. She's going to have to go over. Absolutely no one was at the net to contest her, and so that was a very easy play, which shouldn't have been for Walk.
Casopala bows down to Walk for that set to get her the kill. 7 for Casopala.
Yeah, it has been a middles party today in Aggie Land. Casopala, as you said, the little bow down to Maddie Walk. Thank you for that set, because that was a beautiful swing. Okay, Perkins with the defense.
With some defense. That's what I'm saying. Look at her go. Maddie Walk, we've said her name a lot tonight. She's got 23 assists in this match. If she sounds, her name, or 31 assists, if her name sounds familiar, it's because she killed A&M a year ago, got her 1,000th career assist, but LSU, left LSU to come to Texas A&M. Wanted that experience to stay in the SEC, but wanted to get closer to home. And Katie, nice run down there. And that's why you have defensive specialists on the court. That's going to be a net call on Casopala after a great rundown on that play by Tatum Thomas.
Yeah, Tatum Thomas has been a lot of fun to watch, and if you're a Texas A&M fan, you have got to be excited to have her on your team. That is a tough ball. Not only does she get that ball up, it was like a perfectly high-placed ball for Humphrey just to get back over. You give your team enough time to get back to the court and play defense. Unfortunately, a net violation by Casopala to end that play, but she makes up for it right there with a big swing.
Off the right side was Casopala on that particular rotation.
Well, something that Texas A&M couldn't do a lot of last year because they were running their 6-2 was they couldn't use their middle around the back of the setter, that slide run. But now that we're seeing the 5-1 more often with this Texas A&M team, that's allowing the middles to run the slide. Coach Jamie Morrison said there were a couple of them who really fought me on it. They didn't like going off of 1 foot. They just weren't used to it. But we practiced and practiced and practiced, and now all 3 of them are comfortable with that slide run, and it can be a very successful play.
There's a block from Casopala and Logan Lednicki.
Yeah, those two are just absolutely a brick wall on that side of the net.
That's the first of 15 as Texas A&M leads 15-6. We'll take a quick timeout with them. We'll be back to Reed Arena right after this.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. You can't fake that.
As well, but it's a pretty obvious pick when you've got the defending national champs who just basically reloaded that team. Even though they're going to be in a new conference, it's still them at the top.
Yeah, I mean, Texas is very good. They're very good again. We saw them play Wisconsin the other day, and that was a great match. And how about that ace from Corpus Christi coming out of that timeout?
Yeah, and that's important. Anytime you come out of the timeout, especially when you're down, you want to try to shift that momentum back to your side.
Big swing from Helmuth on the right side. On that particular rotation gets the kill for the Aggies.
I'm going to get a little picky here. I still think this set is too tight to the net, but because Helmuth didn't have anyone in front of her, the block was late and was floating to the outside, she had an open net. But you put a blocker in front of that ball, it becomes almost impossible to get that over successfully. So I still would like to see Walk just take that ball off the net just a little bit.
Sophus gets the kill for the Islanders out of the middle. And like you said earlier, we haven't said her name as much as we thought we would. That's her 7th kill, though. She leads all Islanders with 7 right now.
She's just been a quiet kill leader, I think is the best way to say that. But she was named preseason All-SLC along with Kayla White, named second team, and then again, Kendall Payne. 3 Islanders.
Lednicki blocked, but it's going to go, just in. It was right in front of me. I thought it was out. And I think maybe Jamie Morrison thought so too. He's asking, should he challenge it? No, he's not going to. His team said, no, don't do it. He thought about it though. It looked close to me as well, but when you have a 6-point lead, is it worth challenging at that moment? He decided against it. That's gonna go in as well.
Oh, and Morgan Perkins right on the line over there, along with Lindsay Walton, said, yep, that ball was in.
So,
and that's why you have people on the bench keeping an eye on those lines.
2 quick points now for the Islanders as they look to keep this match going and avoid the sweep. Lednicki says, not so fast. I want this to end in 3, and she puts it down right in the middle of the court over the block.
Yeah, this was a beautiful set. Around the block. It's like hitting on an open net. Oxen just didn't get far enough over, and I understand why, because Lednicki has been crushing cross court all day. So you go to take away the cross court, and all of a sudden she's pounding line.
And right there she goes between the block and gets another kill. Lednicki now with 12 kills on the night.
When I was talking to Corpus Christi's head coach Steve Green before the match, I said, what do you need to see today in order to come away with an upset here? He goes, well, I'd really need Lednicki to have a bad day.
Sorry, didn't happen.
And it is not happening so far. And sometimes that's the case. You can do everything you possibly can on your side of the net, but if there's someone like Logan Lednicki on the other side who's just going off, what do? You got to do whatever you can to slow her down, but man, she's got answers for everything.
And she got that collegiate team training with the U.S. national team, collegiate team this summer. And there she is with a block for the Aggies.
And what I love about Logan Lednicki, and what's scary if you're the opposing team, once she starts chipping away points, it seems like they start snowballing. She just creates this momentum for herself. And they're actually going to take her out of the game right now, giving some bench players some playing time. Love this move right here when you're up by 7.
Margo Manning comes in. Ital Lupio comes in for the Aggies. Free ball coming now. No, we're going to get an attempted swing. She would like to have that back with Brooke Jeffrey. She missed that ball.
That's a really, really tough ball to take a swing at. It's coming from behind you. It's out of system. You've also just come into the game a few points ago, so you haven't really had a lot of swings, especially in a game situation today.
Manning with a jump set to Lupio, who sends it over. There's a block from Perkins. Gonna have a touch called on that one, at the net and in the net. Brooke Jeffrey called on that one. It looks like the ball also touched her fingertips.
I was gonna say, I saw a deflection and the net was moving, so there was a lot going on a hidden side, but it's Corpus Christi's point right here. And if you're the Aggies, you've got some new bodies in the game right now, but you still have to make sure that you're taking care of business.
Aggies trying to close this one out. Ellie Stinson decided too late not to play that serve. Got in the way of the ball.
Yeah, that was a really nice serve by Stolfus for the Islanders. She put that ball right in that big middle seam between Underwood and Stinson, and that's where she should go again here.
Corpus Christi with a 3-0 scoring run here. Close that gap to 4. There's Brooke Jeffrey, cross court. Oh, and misses the putback. As Corpus Christi had sent the ball over, and Brooke Jeffrey misplayed that one. Timeout now by Jamie Morrison as he wants to talk to his team on the court. Not let Corpus Christi get any closer than they already are at 19-16. Logan Lednicki, we certainly said her name a lot. We said it pre-game, we said it during the match. 12 kills for the junior.
Yeah, and I like both of those first 2 swings that you just saw. Here's another one out of the back row. We're seeing her be aggressive from all over the court. And what I love about Logan Lednicki is she can hit anything. So anything out of system. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball. And I think that's probably personally where I've seen her grow the most from her freshman season. Body is so impressive.
She's definitely gotten it done, and she's added 3 digs and 4 blocks assisted here today as well.
Hey,
so she's playing everywhere.
If you want to be a 6 rotation player, you have to be able to play defense. And that's something that, you know, she's probably put even more work into than we recognize and we realize, because we're so used to talking about her offense. But if you want to play in the back row and have the opportunity to hit from the back row, you can't be a liability in the back row. You've got to be able to play defense. And we've seen that so far this season. She's done a great job. And we saw that in her younger years as well, but you're definitely seeing her look more comfortable in that right back position.
And Jamie Morrison wants players that can play all around the court. He looks for that. So if you want to play volleyball at Texas A&M, play all 6 positions well. You've got to be able to serve and play defense too. That's going to go out of bounds off Lupio, and that's going to be a point for A&M Corpus Christi out of that A&M timeout. That's a big point.
Yeah, the Islanders really taking advantage right now of these new bodies in the game, and we are going to see some substitutions now for Texas A&M. Coach Morrison just not happy with what's going on. So we'll see Maddie Watt come back in along with Tatum Thomas.
It's a 5-0 scoring run now for Corpus Christi. Point Texas A&M, and the substitution slowed them down just enough to where didn't hit the serve just hard enough and hit into the net as Helmuth comes back in the front row for the Aggies. Brooke Jeffrey will stay in to serve and play back row for Texas A&M. There's Perkins running the slide for the Aggies.
Hearn Walk did a nice job of slowing down the attack. Jeffrey with a great pass, and then a beautiful swing right there by Perkins. You know, so many young hitters want to crush the ball down, and they want to hit everything in front of the 10-foot line. But that was a beautiful deep ball. That is such a tough ball to defend. Anything that lands in that back 3 feet of the court is going to be a kill in my book 99% of the time.
Ace from Brooke Jeffrey. The Aggies seem to have gotten their swagger back here after giving up a few points in a row to the Islanders. Brooke Jeffrey with her 3rd serve now in this rotation. Islanders going off the slide, defended by the Aggies. That's going to go over the block. Nice job. Nice placement on the ball by Cranky on that ball.
Yeah, I like the Islanders. They'll have a player get blocked, and they'll go right back to her. And that's exactly what they did right there with Cranky. She was blocked on the slide swing, got the second ball right after that, and a beautiful tip. That ball was really, really hard to read.
Just a 4-point lead now for Texas A&M. That one's going to go out, and that's the first hitting error we've seen from Morgan Perkins here today.
Yeah, she let it rip. That one was just a little bit too flat.
Aggies won the second set 25-11. So for Corpus Christi to be in this 3rd set as they are, says a lot about the Islanders' unwillingness to let it go. They're fighting with everything they've got. That one goes out off the block. Gives the point back to Texas A&M. Morgan Perkins will go back row if Anna Kasopala comes back in to block for the Aggies. Perkins hits that one too hard, goes out.
Number 18, Riley Hobson, back in from Corpus Christi, returning for your Aggies, number 12, Eva.
Walk goes back to Casapala. Dug up by Corpus Christi and pushed over. Emily Helmuth at the net. Gonna get a net call on Cranky for Corpus, and that takes Aggies here to set and match point here in this opener at Reed Arena. Maddie Walk serves it up for the Aggies. That one was touched at the net, and Helmuth knew it and tried to pop it up, but missed that one. So another set match point coming now for the Aggies.
Match point.
Casapala out. Another point for Corpus Christi.
Yeah, and if you're Texas A&M, you just got to finish. You're getting the pass. A couple of hitting errors here late in the set.
Casapala out of the middle this time. Dug up.